Okay, we have the two FitPCs. One is the 2 GHz, one is the 2.5, I believe. I'll double check this. I just want to measure the difference in power using different peripherals, different hard drives, and to estimate the capacity of running this in the car. So here we go, both probes, that's measuring voltage, that's measuring current. So we have 12.36 volts, and obviously no amps because I'm holding the power lead just in. Let's see what happens when we plug it in. Okay, it's in, and we can see that we already have 0.04 amps. I believe this is various circuitry for wake on LAN and anything like that. So okay, let's power it on and see how much it's taking. This is the more powerful FitPC. Here we go, the voltage dropped a bit. This is the typical current. And this is idle, the hard drives are not in, so it kind of gives you an idea of the range of power this thing can take. I think it's pretty much stabilized. Let's give it a few more seconds and then we'll switch over to the other FitPC. Okay, that's good enough. Let's power this off. There we go. And switch over to the less powerful FitPC to see if it actually makes much of a difference, just with a slightly slower CPU. Okay, this one powered on its own. So not a massive difference. In fact, it seems like there's no difference at all. Not when there's no hard drive or operating system anyway. This might change when the device is idle. Right, that's pretty much stabilized. So let's move on. Okay, the next test is having the hard drive in, loading the operating system, so we can see the spikes in power and it will stabilize when it's idle. By the way, the standby 0.04 amps is the same on both of them. So let's power this on. Right, now we're seeing a high spike. This is a 5400 RPM hard drive. Okay, that's pretty much stabilized. Okay, now I'm powering this on. Oh, it's powered itself on. The operating system should be loaded by now. so we can see roughly where it's hovering. Okay, I've just powered on the FitPC with a slightly different hard drive. It's a higher capacity hard drive but the same spin speed. This is the previous hard drive. And we can see everything is roughly the same. So it looks like capacity and brands of hard drive don't make a significant difference. Okay, that's pretty much stabilized. Let's see what happens when we introduce a 3G modem. Okay, modem's going in. So not very much. But let's wait for it to load and see if it makes any difference. Okay, the modem is loaded and it should be transferring across information from time to time. So I'll let it run and see if what the spike in power is. It seems to be hovering about the same figures. So from 0.53 to 0.63 it seems. Only 0.1 amp difference between idle and under load. The system is encoding video, not video, I mean audio. So every minute it takes the recorded audio and compresses it. So that causes a CPU spike. This is why you're seeing it stabilize at a 0.53, 0.55 amps, and then occasionally it jumps for a few seconds. But it doesn't seem that the 3G is affecting it very much. Let's have a look if it's actually online. There we go. Yes, as we can see, the DVR has connected. So everything's functioning correctly, and this is still the maximum power draw using a standard hard drive. Let's attempt the same test using the original hardware. This is the slightly weaker FitPC. For comparison, this is the more powerful FitPC. The power consumption doesn't seem to be much different. The 3G modem is on, and I've just received an email that it's switched on. Let's let that run for 30 seconds or so to see any spikes when the CPU is loaded. But it seems there's a very small difference in power consumption, if any at all. Let's see what happens if we take the 3G modem out, just for comparison. There's definitely a drop. It seems to be around 0.05 amps, give or take. Ignore the testers, it's beeping to remind me that I may have forgotten I left it running. But there you go.
Okay, we can see that even if we have a modest 70 amp hour battery in the car, we can drain it in as little as just under 5 days. However, the idea behind this DVR is it will go into standby mode whenever the car is not in use and whenever there's no movement in the car, and it will switch off completely at the end of every day. So even after 2.5 days of continuous usage, you'll only be hitting 50%, and that's not going to be the case because the car is being driven, and the system will go into standby mode whenever not used. And in standby mode, it should be able to easily last 81 days, or over 40 days before reaching 50% battery charge.